Hey guys, welcome back to the AspieWorld. What's going on with my hair? I'm wearing this hat, yo, and the reason why I'm wearing this hat is because I am a YouTube Next Up 2017 winner. Basically, that means I spent the week in YouTube space in London with Google, and it was like super cool. It was like the best thing ever. I actually got this cool hat. It's a graduation cap, check it out. How cool is that? Anyway guys, you know that at the beginning of every video I read out a comment from one of you guys, so I'm actually up in the game. I'm actually going to read out 3 comments, 1 from Twitter and 2 from YouTube. So if you want me to read out your comments, make sure you head over to Twitter as well. So the first comment I'm going to read out is from Nichelle. She says, I tend to feel my music quite intensely to the point that certain sounds can stop me moving. Do you have this sound sensitivity? I guess, yeah, I do have a sound sensitivity, and I've got a real sensitivity to sound and stuff, and I think that's why I have a big appreciation for music, and that's why I'm a musician and I can write music. Okay guys, moving on. Brion Ranger, I'm not sure what that means. Okay, body language in groups is my biggest obstacle. If I'm one-on-one with a person, it's easier for me to understand in comparison to hanging out with a group of people. My new overall body movements positioning is hard for me too. That's why I prefer to text friends rather than confront them. And this is true. This is something that was in my last video about like where people with Aspergers and autism would rather text and type and email rather than actually be there in physical being with somebody, because if you're there, it's more difficult to figure out the body language, but you can type whatever you want and then you can get a clear definition of what you need. So that's quite an interesting comment. And the last comment is from Jack here, and Jack says, nice beard. Well, Jack, I shaved it off a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I went to a barber's and shaved it off, but I still got a beard going on. It's still pretty much a beard. If you want me to read out your comment, guys, please hit that bell icon on desktop and mobile, because I'll be picking from the first 30 comments to read 1 or 2 of those from YouTube when I upload a video. Also, get on Twitter, hashtag #TheAspieWorld and ask me questions, and I'll read one of your comments out on here. If you'd like to see my vlog on the YouTube Next Up from the week I had in YouTube in London, in the YouTube space, please go and check out the vlog. I'll insert a clip here. Hey guys, what's going on? So we're down here at the YouTube space in London right now. So this is the kind of typical thing you've got to do. But upstairs is Google. So like I think apparently we go there at like lunchtime and stuff like that. But anyway, there's YouTube space, couch, and all that kind of stuff going on, which is kind of cool. But we were just actually talking about these things here. These are like screens with loads of he looks like he's in a popcorn. So you can go through to my vlog channel and check that out. Links in the description below. Okay guys, so moving on with this video. Okay guys, so this video is basically just about traveling on public transport, and I thought it was quite an important one to do because going to London, I had to get on a public transport and then travel down there, and then I had to like, you know, navigate around London and stuff, which isn't easy at the best of times. So a journey on public transport is kind of, people forget what it's about, and the reason I think it's so interesting is because it's not just getting on a motion of transport. It's actually a complex set of maneuvers which involve dealing with people and information and changes, which is quite interesting because all of those things impact people with ASD. Now, I've written down like just a little bit to talk about why a train journey could be difficult for somebody on the autism spectrum, and then I've put some hacks right at the end, which I kind of use, and I think that people should definitely try and use these hacks because they may come in handy to you when you're in a social situation, when you're on a train or something. Also guys, I'm like rocking this huge water thing right now. So basically, unpredictability within journeys. You can have a sensory overload, so there'll be like lights on the train, there may be like loud noises on the train, there could be crazy smells on the train, there could be people talking on the train around you. The noise of the train is quite noisy when it like moves and stuff. Same with a bus, you know, bus has loads of stops and there's like a tannoy noise, so they're like, and then they talk over the tannoy thing and it's hard to hear what they're saying, and then you think, is it, you know, what are they talking about? Does it have any issues? There's a whole host of things that can go wrong there. Having to talk to people on the train is quite interesting. So you might be found that you have to talk to passengers on the train or on the bus or on the airplane, or you might have to talk to the conductor when they come around and take your ticket, which again is super stressful. And then you know, you might have to talk to the trolley person if they come around and they're handing out like tea and coffee. And then another super stressful thing which could probably impact people who are on the spectrum who are traveling like that is basically if you you get onto the train or the bus at one end, but then you get to the other end. I mean, and knowing what's on the other end, because then you have to get out and then there's going to be loads of people there, and then you're going to have to navigate through to where you need to go, which is super difficult. And I find that those things would impact people. I mean, those in a nutshell are the things that would impact people mainly the most, and it definitely impacted me. I was on a train down to YouTube last week, and that was just crazy. You know, all these things came into effect. But I did have some hacks, which we're going to go through right now. Some hacks would be to pre-book the tickets. So basically you wouldn't have to really talk to anybody on the train to say, oh, I need to book some tickets. You know, you have your pre-booked tickets, and then you just pass it to them. They come out and they ask for tickets, and you pass the ticket to them, and they stamp it, and then they give you a ticket back for some weird reason, even though the ticket's kind of invalid after they stamp it. So pre-booking always is helpful, and because of that, you can also, you know, you can book first class if you want to as well. So the cool thing about booking first class is if you can afford it, there's like Wi-Fi in there, which is kind of cool, and it's closed off, and it's kind of, there's less people in it because less people want to kind of buy first class, because people just want to get everything for the cheapest possible price. But if you're having to travel by public transport on like one-offs, then it may be kind of worth trying to see if you can afford like the first class tickets. But you can always find little apps that will help you find them tickets and stuff like that. Using Uber app, so basically when I get off the train, I always kind of try and book an Uber so that an Uber can come pick me up, and then so I don't have to like walk through busy streets and busy kind of city. So I just get an Uber, and Uber will take you from A to B. And you can, you know, the best thing about using Uber is you can just order it on your phone, it pays it by PayPal, there's no like talking, there's no phoning up, no taxi service, there's nothing like that. You just do it on your phone and it's cool, and you don't even have to speak to the Uber driver, they'll just pick you up. Another one is have somebody meet you at the train station, so like have somebody meet you at the other end, so like you have maybe a chaperone at the other end to pick you up, so you just sit on the vessel and then you get off it, and then you have a chaperone there who's able to take you to destinations and do all this kind of cool stuff with you. Another one is wearing headphones and listening to music. So when I was on the train, I kind of listened to music and I had headphones on, so that basically there was no interference from loads of noise and sensory input, so I was able to just sit there and go, oh, okay, yeah, I can really enjoy this ride and just listen to my music, and it's kind of cool. So in some trains, you don't get this on buses, but in some trains you have like quiet coaches where you can, so people want to sit down and read, or they want to go to sleep or something if it's a long train, so you can sit on this coach where people shouldn't be noisy, everyone kind of respects the boundaries, and that's a cool place to be because it's super quiet and people are not going to talk to you, and you should have reduced noise levels, especially for like a lot of like screaming children or like hyperactive children or people having massive conversations. So maybe just trying to scout out those carriages when you get on trains. Unfortunately this isn't on buses that I know of, so please, you know, let me know if I'm wrong here. And the last thing is to probably try and have a travel buddy, so somebody who could travel with you, who can make sure everything's okay. And this is something that I have to have, and so this time I had a buddy of mine, Alex, who's also a blogger and started a YouTube channel, so I'd highly recommend maybe trying to find a chaperone or somebody to come with you, like a travel buddy to buddy up during this period if you're having to travel through public transport. We did make a video when I was in the YouTube space in London. It's a comedy video and it's about YouTube. I'll link it above here somewhere in this on the cards. If you'd like to learn more about Asperger's and autism, please hit that subscribe button above here. If you'd like to check out my vlog channel and what I did that week, please click here, and my last video will be here somewhere. Guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.